Real talk, the truth, nigga.
And it don't stop. Yeah. Mr. Real Talk, the metaphor Messiah.
Bow down to the
king.
Bow down to the king.
We talking legendary coming soon, the mixtape. Black stars.
I bring the battle to you. If we were the same size, you couldn't fit in my shoes. Bear crown for the infinite. You better check your incidents. Careers get flushed, the same toilet that you pissed in. This rap's just a piece of tiramisu. They should've kept it independent. Ask Schoolboy Q. Lay siege to your throne. You are fucking with Capone. She ain't fucking with me. She fucking with one of my clones. Nasty with the similes. Monster with a metaphor. She could suck a mean one. Why you think I'm metaphor? Beat stay knocking through your ears and your spinal cord. Hating on the youth. Use a lame and a dinosaur. Fuck that. I am king to this hip hop. Trying to find a clue, you a G. Madlock, never see the day I break bread with my enemies. The mixtape out, baby, special delivery. Now that's a special delivery.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave, and I'm coming at you live from Deutschland. Yes, Germany, 12 o'clock midnight at night. We're doing our thing. Survivor Series is at hand. It's just a couple of days away, 48 hours, somewhere around then. And it is time to see what the hell exactly is going to happen. I know you guys are wondering. I'm wondering. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Oh, wait. We do, because it might be the most predictable Survivor Series in history. Now, does that necessarily mean it's going to be bad? That's what's going to be the question that's going to get answered, because I think that's what everyone wants to know. You know, most people have an idea of what's going to happen. I think we're all fairly certain who's walking out as champion. I do think they've set themselves up pretty damn good in a situation where they can make the changes if they want to make the changes. So I think that if they decide to roll the dice here and go against what they normally, just want to do, then boom, they have those options. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about each match in the tournament. We're going to talk about every single match. We're going to give you full predictions. I'm also going to take your calls, questions, concerns, hopes, dreams, loves, hates, anything that you can think of. We're going to go ahead and talk about it now. By the way, we're still going to do Dead on Dave Live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same time as this one, so we'll be here for that as well. And that'll be full-blown viewer questions, as usually is the whole thing there. And not only because of that, not only that, we have all these things to talk about going on with the influx of TNA stars or just independent stars that are coming into NXT. All the new people that have been rumored to be coming over or have been spotted. We're going to talk about all that tomorrow, because just like I thought a few weeks back, a month or so ago, 2 months ago, when the whole Samoa Joe thing started, the floodgates do seem to be open wide. So we'll talk about that tomorrow and everything, but we're here for Survivor Series, and we got this beautiful little graphic. Look at this graphic. It's so wonderful. Got to thank my man, the copious graphics guru, Mr. Sal. He will cut you. If you want to see what he could do for you, look what he's done for me. He's made this channel go from shitty to glitzy. If you want to see what he could do for you, just get in touch with him over at White Death Graphics at Gmail, and he will take care of you. Big shout out to my peeps in the chat. All my favorite people are here. Real Talk Metaphor Messiah. He gave us King of Kings to use there in the opening, so thank you for that. He's here. Reverse Spork, haven't seen him in a while. He's here. Tony Barraso's in the chat, hanging out. Holy crap, the 15, 14-year-old with the 72-year-old man voice. Josh Lyons in the chat. Patty Glynn, of course, the moderator, the Snow Queen, the Winnipeg Goddess, Terry. Everybody here. Frenchie Ben doing his thing. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Looks like Pittsburgh boys somewhere there around, probably masturbating to a thought of Roman Reigns winning the title. Is he going to be able to see that and be happy because it's actually happened? We'll talk about that. But let's go ahead and start with the predictions, shall we? Don't be afraid to go ahead and put your predictions in as I'm doing my predictions. When I go through each match, go ahead and just throw your predictions into the chat, and I'll look through them, and I'll throw a couple out there for you guys, okay? Let's go ahead and start with the non-tournament matches. Let's start there because we'll just go through the tournament as it's such, but let's start with the non-tournament matches, and probably the least relevant match on the card, Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I call it the least relevant, and it's only because there's tournaments and titles and Undertaker shit and all this stuff going on with the rest of the night. So it is. Now, look, that doesn't mean I think it's going to be a bad match. In fact, I think it's going to be a very good match. I think these two could potentially open a show, but it also wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if they put them on the pre-show, but we'll see what they inevitably decide to do. Either way, I'm fairly certain they're going to let the reins just off these guys and let them go and kick some ass. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. We'll see if that actually happens. Tyler Breeze should get the win here. Dolph Ziggler's got a new look. He seems to be more aggressive, and that's great. When Dolph gets more aggressive, usually that's a good thing. But I don't see what a win over Tyler Breeze is going to accomplish for him. Tyler, new to the roster, I think needs an Impact win, and Ziggler is good for that. So they should have a fantastic match, but maybe Summer gets involved and Tyler gets the win. So I'm calling Tyler Breeze for the victory here. If it is the first match of the night, you know what? It could be Ziggler because they want to start the match off on a positive note. They want to start the night off on a positive feeling and getting everybody happy with a Dolph Ziggler victory. Could very well do that because I don't know how much happiness is going to be going on throughout the night in Atlanta. Because this is going to be a night of misery, I have a feeling. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting. So, who you guys got in the first match? I've got Tyler Breeze. Oh, it's Tyler. Tyler. Love Tyler Breeze. He's great. So, there you go. That's the first match. Done and in the books. Next match, let's talk about the Charlotte and Paige Divas Championship match. Okay, now obviously this match has become much more intriguing because of the controversial angle that they did on Monday Night Raw, which everybody seemed to have an opinion about, and everybody was really negative on it as far as, well, I mean, Jim Ross saying, I wouldn't have done that, and all these people saying, oh, it was in bad taste. This is a weak-ass goddamn civilization now we live in, because here's the reality. And I was pissed off at Ric Flair, to be completely honest, because Rick, on his podcast, Woo Nation, states that he didn't know about the angle, which I'm completely sure he did not know. And he would not throw WWE under the bus, but he also alluded to the fact that Charlotte probably had absolutely no input, no decision, and if they did ask her, it's not like she could have said no. I felt that was an absolute weak-ass statement by him to make because I think it's absolute bullshit. When it's in this climate, the world that we live in now, there's no way the WWE could force a talent to do something like that. Because if they did, and the said talent came out and said something later, the backlash against the WWE would be gigantic. And considering how scared of backlash the WWE is, remember, this is the exact same company that not a few months ago was so just completely absent-minded that first they made a group called the Submission Sorority and then freaked out immediately and changed the name, but they're still so absent-minded that they don't realize they've given another one of their wrestlers a poor name, the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, also a poor name. They do things like this all the time, and if somebody makes reference to it, they'll change his name too. They're so goddamn scared of the PC world. And it has a lot to do with the political aspirations, which I still believe that Vince's wife, Linda, has. Even though she may not ever run for a Senate seat again, she's still politically minded, and she's very, very, very got her finger on the pulse of the image of the WWE, which I do think affects Vince and what he does. And you take into consideration not only that, the marketability, with the sponsorships and everything, they're going to keep going as PG as they can, and they're going to keep staying as non-edgy as humanly possible because they're so scared of this PC goddamn world that we seem to be occupied in right now. Now, all that being said, it really bugged me that Rick started this narrative that Charlotte didn't have a say because I just don't believe it. It just doesn't make sense for all the reasons I just said. Now, the WWE did release a statement that said pretty much exactly what I just did, that Charlotte did have say. She was known about it. In fact, she had a lot of input into the angle. Now, I don't know if that's true either. I have no way of knowing, but here's what I do know. Charlotte hasn't complained publicly. She hasn't said a goddamn word, and I doubt that's out of fear. Look, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the WWE to take this battle, to be the one they stand on and go, no, we're going to force our talents to talk about their loved ones and have their loved ones, especially one that junkied himself off this planet, excuse me for saying, Jesus Christ, that's catastrophic for the WWE. Now, all of that set aside, I was not completely mortified by this angle, nor did I love it either. I didn't think it was that great because it reeked of desperation. They couldn't generate any actual interest into this match because they booked it so poorly. It wasn't that Paige and Charlotte weren't interesting together in that story. It was just so weirdly booked and mismanaged because one week it was one thing, then the next thing it was the next. They didn't really seem to have a cohesive idea of exactly where to go with it. They should have pulled the trigger earlier with Paige and kept her on that course. Now Paige is full-blown heel and full-blown evil Paige, which is the best Paige. Let's face it, she's so much better as a heel than she is a face. Probably going to end up being a really good tweener when all is said and done. Because remember, she's still like 22 or 23. Very young. So you have all these mitigating circumstances where they just cannot get any juice positive for this match. So they go cheap. And for better or worse, it worked. People are talking about it. Now, I didn't even think people were going to be talking about it this long, but people can't stop talking about it, and it's generated a buzz about this match. Now, I think if they were smart, it's pretty obvious to me what needs to happen. Charlotte and Paige need to have themselves one hell of a championship match to not only capitalize on the amount of eyeballs that'll be watching this contest, but to really just kind of take it away a little bit too and say, hey, these two women are absolutely fantastic together, and hopefully that'll start a new narrative about this title reign. So it makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. It makes a lot of sense to me if that is the case. So I like Charlotte winning this match after a very, very good contest. Mainly because I think that they've gone through enough hassle of having Charlotte as a big champion. And I don't think they want to end that now. If they did, it certainly wouldn't make sense to use this thing with her brother now. I forgot his name, Reed. It wouldn't make any sense to use it now. So because they used it to get that extra juice, I really do believe it is because Charlotte's going to go over. Paige will continue her losing ways, and we'll see what happens later on. Now, I could be wrong about that. Paige could win because it also makes sense for her to win and Charlotte to chase again. The only issue is if Charlotte gets the belt taken off of her this soon after winning the damn thing, you can't think that it's going to be because Charlotte's going to be in a long-term situation with Paige. It would be because they'd be moving on. And I hope they're not going to do that. It's possible because Charlotte has one issue. And it's not in the ring, where I think she is fantastic. It's not even on the mic, which I don't think she's very good. It's just she's one of these people that it's so hard to connect with. Like, people watching her, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because she's Rick's daughter. I don't know if it's because she is very physically intimidating. I don't know what it is. But people seem to have a hard time either cheering her the way she should be cheered or booing her when she needs to be booed. They do nothing for her. And that's the worst type of reaction. Nothing is the death knell for people in wrestling. If you're going major cheers or major boos, no matter, even Marie, for all of her fucking terribleness, she gets an amazing heel reaction. At least she's getting that. Charlotte gets nothing, except for when she woos, because that's all the fucking universe is a bunch of goddamn chanting assholes. That's all they care about. Yes, yes, feed me more. That's all they do, that's all they care about. So the woos get her over, but other than that, nobody cares about Charlotte, and that is a problem. So they could potentially move on from her. And honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I think there is a possibility of her dropping the belt and being done with it. Now, hopefully, that's not going to happen. And we're going to see more development out of Charlotte because let's face it, what do we want? We want Charlotte and Sasha. We want Sasha Banks and Charlotte. We want to see them either at Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. And for that to happen, Charlotte needs to keep this belt. And I don't think that one match with Paige is going to be enough. I think they should let this go on at the next pay-per-view and a little bit longer. It'd be very good for Paige and Charlotte and the division, but they need to sprinkle more women into it and have a secondary feud. They started it with Natalya and Naomi or Bad and Charlotte, whatever, Sasha and all them, but now they've done nothing with it, so I don't know. Doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense. We'll see. We'll see. Very interesting stuff there. So I got Charlotte. Who do you guys got in the Women's Divas title match? I got Charlotte. So at this time, make sure if you've yet to do so, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Just press on it and love it. Oh, by the way, before we get back to the predictions, I kind of want to share something with everybody. Something I'm excited about. Something that you guys asked for. Well, a couple people, you guys talked about it. So, might as well show you guys. Yeah, we're going to do this. If I can find it. I'm terrible at everything I do. All right, here we go. Let's see here. This is for everybody who asked about it. Come on. I said another phrase the other day, and like many stupid things that I say, they get demanded to be turned into a t-shirt. Well, luckily you have somebody in your corner, people, who want to see me humiliated. You have Sal, the copious graphics guru, who gets on these things very quickly. And sure enough, if you go over to www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com right now, you will find this. That's right. She's so hot, my nipples lactated. That's right, the newest shirt on Dead on Dave Productions Spreadshirt account. It's there. If you want to, it exists and it's glorious. It's actually a really good design, man. Like at first I was like, do I really want a shirt that advocates my nipples lactating? And then I see the design and how really cool it is. I'm on a fucking milk carton. Come on, man. How good is that? That's fantastic. It's not just good. It's great. I'm on a fucking milk carton, man. This is great. I don't know why it matters, why that's relevant, but it works for me. I absolutely love it. So thank you, Sal. I appreciate that. As always, my brother, look at that. He ask and thou shalt receive. All right. So make sure you go check that out and pick up those shirts. Also, if you are so inclined, go ahead and donate to the channel. Right in the description box below, you can donate to the channel and keep all the cool things going, like the new number, 702-751-2902. You guys can call in and get your voice heard. And many other things. That's because of you guys. Speaking of which, we did get a donation off air. Power Fred, once again, with a $5 donation, giving a little bit of love to the copious fat man. That was just basically what he wrote. So thank you, Power Fred, for your donation. I very much appreciate that. I think, once again, I actually have the stupid $1 million laugh working. So if you do donate, you'll get the $1 million laugh. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive on that, but I'm pretty sure. So, you know, let's hope. We can dream. I think we can dream. Oh, that's probably why. Oh, I wonder if that's why, because I'm really, really incompetent. Okay, now it should be good. So if you do donate, there you go. I think I was using the wrong link, but who knows? All right, let's get back into it. So after those two matches, we got some other... Oh, yes, the weirdest thing of the night. This is Survivor Series, and they put such an emphasis on the 5-man traditional Survivor Series elimination match. And then, of course, They don't book one. No, they don't. But they do say there will be one, and it's it's going to be all to be determined guys. We have no idea who's in this match. None. No clue. It's a traditional Survivor Series match, which I assume is going to be 5-on-5. Now, why do we hate this? Well, because it's stupid that there's no build for it. But here's the thing. I kind of like it. I'm kind of digging it, and I'll tell you why. It kind of harkens back to early Survivor Series when the teams would kind of get put together that night. I remember the match that The Undertaker debuted in. He was recruiting guys for that team that night and then brought in The Undertaker to be the surprise guy. We've seen that before. I mean, it's going back to just being a matter of pride. So I expect something on the pre-show or something to that effect. And I think we have a good idea of the people who will be in this match. It'll be more than likely it'll be guys like the New Day. They need something to do. The Dudleys, stuff like that. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen because that makes a lot of sense. But wouldn't it be kind of cool? Now, this is just my idea, and I know that invasion angles and all that stuff is completely passé and always get beaten up on. I don't want that. I don't want a full-blown invasion angle. But wouldn't it have been cool just a couple of weeks ago, just a challenge issued by, I don't know, Tyler Breeze, Kevin Owens, somebody like that who's coming up from NXT recently, and just have something to say about the fact that, everybody talks about NXT. Well, I'm here now, and fuck NXT, And they put together a team of people, of current WWE roster members, maybe even guys who've come from NXT. I think there's enough guys that they can do that with. Hell, you can have it. Big E, that's NXT guy, former NXT champion, as a matter of fact. Big E, Neville, Tyler Breeze, Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens is already doing other matches, but there's enough guys to fill in there if you want as well, against 5 random NXT guys banding together. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be badass. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It would draw up some interest in NXT. It'd give them a big stage to be on. I would love to see that. So maybe something like that would work, and maybe that's something they'll do in later on Survivor Series. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be quite interesting. So the question, I can't really predict this because I have no idea who's going to be in it. I have an idea of a couple people who might be, like I just said, New Day, Dudley Boys, stuff like that. But we have no idea who's going to win it. We have no idea who's going to be in the damn thing. So there it is. Isaac A's in the chat says, yo, what up, Dave? What's up, Isaac? 101, Mr. Richmond. He's up in the chat. Adrian, Alex, Poe, Chris J. They're all hanging out in the chat. Daniel from Scotland. Everybody's hanging out in the chat, doing their thing. I appreciate all the support in the chat. Thank you guys very much. But let's get back to it. I think all we have left now is the tournament. The tournament is all we got left. So let's start with Roman Reigns and Alberto Del Rio. Now, the question is, do they go ahead and pull the upset here? No. They're not. They're cowards. They're pussies. No way they're not going to do it. It will be Roman Reigns moving on. Probably a good match. It might even be a squash. It's going to be interesting how they book these matches. Are they going to go grueling and try to really make it hard on Roman and all that stuff, to try to get him over more, which I don't think will work? Probably. They'll probably even do an injury angle where Del Rio really attacks the arm. Like he really goes after Roman's arm. And maybe even Roman has to bandage it up for the second match. I could see them doing something like that. It would not surprise me at all. It makes a lot of sense. It's kind of their go-to move. So Roman Reigns should easily slide right past Del Rio. Oh, I forgot about the Undertaker match. Don't worry, we'll get to that at the end. So Roman Reigns should move right past there. Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens, probably the most interesting match of the night, because this will tell you exactly what the WWE is planning. I came up with, well, I didn't come up with an idea. I spoke an idea of what I'd like to see. And this is exactly how I'd break it down. Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens has their match, and it's an epic one. It's fantastic. It's great. But once again, Dean Ambrose just comes up short. It's kind of what he does. And you can just see the frustration building. Kevin Owens gets the victory. He moves on to the finals. Dean Ambrose, completely dejected, kind of loses his grip. Maybe does something a little Chris Jericho-ish, like, I don't know, starts hitting some steel steps or something like that, destroys an announcer table, something crazy. Goes to the back, does the same thing. We see him in the back just kind of tearing shit up, going nuts, not really handling things well. Kevin Owens moves on to the finals. So then we have the finals, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. This is the matchup that I want to see, mainly because I think this would make the most sense for them to not put the belt on Roman. If you do Dean and Roman, which, judging by SmackDown, it's all but a given, that foreshadowing where they're both standing right. I mean, come on. Why even watch Survivor Series if you guys are going to do that and just show them standing over the belt looking at it like it's a piece of ass? You know, we can't gangbang this thing. Only one of us is getting this belt. I mean, we would like to run a train on this bitch, but it ain't going to happen. That's basically what they were doing. It was creepy and weird, and they kept smiling at each other. It was just, didn't work for me because it was too on the nose. It was just too much foreshadowing for me. Now, Kevin Owens wins. He moves into the finals. Now, what you can have is a great match. Really make Roman look good in this match with Kevin Owens. Have him on the cusp of victory. And once again, he is going to come up short. But once again, it'll be because of somebody else. Dean Ambrose comes out and costs him the match. Maybe not a full-blown heel turn, because I don't think he'll get booed for it, not in Atlanta at least. I don't see him getting booed for turning on Roman, but I can just see the frustration being enough to get Dean to do this and make it believable and make it work. Now, because I like the narrative. I kind of like the narrative of Roman Reigns not being able to win, of him being this hard luck guy that he just can't win the big one. I really do enjoy that. I think it's a good idea because when he does eventually win it, maybe it's a year down the line, maybe it's WrestleMania, who knows? When he does eventually win it, maybe it'll be a really big deal. You know, the guy who just time and time again, that brass ring keeps slipping through his fingers. When he actually gets it, maybe the crowd will be ready for him. But we're not ready for him now. It will be a disaster if he's champion because he's not ready. He's just not. Not in this current packaging. With a few tweaks, a heel turn, or just sheer badassery, he could be ready. He has the look. I think he's got all the moveset he's ever going to have. He's not going to develop any more in the ring any more than he already is. In fact, he'll be like Cena in that regard. The older he gets, the less athletic he's going to get. I have a feeling, just like Cena. Another parallel between those two, by the way. I see that being the case. So, you know, in this current packaging, he's not ready. Kevin Owens very much is. So if you have Dean Ambrose turn on Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens is your new champion. Kevin Owens can reign fucking supreme, run roughshod over everybody, and it would be awesome. That way, you also have you have two built-in feuds if you think about it, because everybody talks about the possibility of Sami Zayn coming back. Now, I don't like the idea of Sami Zayn going right for the title as soon as he comes in. But man, how cool would it be if the next night, you know, Kevin Owens just, after he, you know, you would think has to take on Roman Reigns in another one-on-one contest or something like that, beats him again or something to that aspect, and Sami Zayn comes out and their feud starts, and it is for the WWE Championship. That'd be kind of cool. But you don't have to do that. I think there are plenty of guys that could be in line. I just think a heel champion is way more effective right now than a face champion. And if you think about it, it's the only way they can really do the Dean Ambrose heel turns if he loses to Kevin Owens. Because if they're in a match together, he can't really turn heel because they're already fighting. Now, he could turn after Roman wins the title, but if he does that, he would be laying him out. If he lays him out, wouldn't it make sense if Sheamus were to come out and cash in? That makes sense to me. Now, I don't know about you, but you're getting to the exact same thing with Dean and Roman feuding. It'll be without the belt either way, but wouldn't you rather have Kevin Owens as champion than Sheamus, who has absolutely no juice? Because that's what I see happening if this current collision goes the way it looks like it's going to go. With Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns being in that match, if Roman beats Dean clean, Dean's going to turn on him. And when he does, Roman's laying, Sheamus comes, picks the bones, cashes in. That's the absolute worst fucking idea I could think of. Because nobody cares about that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Pittsburgh Boy 96, Sami Zayn at Mania for the championship. Talk about shoving down our throats. What? What? They barely even had Sami Zayn up there. He had one match with Cena, which he was immensely over. There's no shoving of a guy like shoving down someone's throat. Has to indicate that the fans don't want the person, like Roman Reigns. The fans don't want Roman. They're shoving it, and they're not shoving it down our throats. Unfortunately, they're having Roman fuck us in the ass. If it was just getting shoved down our throats, maybe that wouldn't be so bad. Everybody likes to get the back of their throats tickled eventually, but nobody likes shit going up their asses. That's never fun. And that's happening right now. We're getting fucked in the ass. That's what happened. Patrick Lynn asked, then what did they do with the IC belt, Dave? You have him hold it, just like they did with Rollins. You have him hold it for a while, then you find someone to take it off of him. It's not a big deal. Or, you have him, he doesn't defend it for a while, and then he has to give it up. Maybe he just passes it on. All kinds of stuff. I don't know. Terry Snow Queen, okay, quit picking on poor Pittsburgh boy. He's bringing it on himself. He's bringing him on himself. Now he's saying that's hypocritical as fuck. Now I'm starting to really not think that you know what words mean. I think you're not knowing what words mean, Pittsburgh. It's I don't know what to tell you. It's really simple. You can't shove someone down somebody's throat if they want him to begin with. We want Sami Zayn. People want Sami. Nobody wants Roman. That's why he's being shoved down our throats. That's all I got. Adrian Alex Post says, what if both Reigns and Ambrose win the title? Oh my God. Bow! No, they don't need to do that. I don't think that really needs to happen. Having the double title thing. Why? If it was a minor pay-per-view, I could see something like that happening. But at a major pay-per-view, which is what Survivor Series is supposed to be, I don't think you can do that. I don't think it works that way. I think it's very counterproductive, and you're just really screwing the fans over, which they may not care about, but it just doesn't really do anything for the Survivor Series brand. So, I don't know. I have no idea. Kyle Lorch, hey Dave, for the 5-on-5, you think they're going to throw 10 guys together and no one would care about the match? More than likely. More than likely. Pittsburgh boy, I'm in my second year of college. I have great knowledge. Not by that sentence structure. No, I'm just saying. Not by that sentence structure. Just saying. Pittsburgh boy, that's because they don't give him a chance. What are you talking about, man? We gave him a chance in the Shield. We loved him in the Shield. Loved him. But then when he got solo, we realized he's the least talented of the three, but because of his look, he's the one they're elevating. We don't like that. And I was a big supporter of Roman Reigns for a while, but I got to be honest, it's because of people like Pittsburgh boy and his constant whining and defending of Roman Reigns that's pissing me off. It's the exact same reason why I don't like Cena, because it's the people who defend him. It's so repugnant. It just drives me insane. It drives me insane. And that's what I think a lot of people feel the exact same way. I think it's an ideology, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And the reality is it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I think we've seen enough with Roman Reigns where we know it doesn't work. I don't know. I think that Roman can work. And I'm going to say that again. Pittsburgh, listen to my words. I think Roman can work because fundamentally, I like Roman Reigns. I like his look. I'd like to make beautiful babies with him. He's gorgeous. But it's the way they're using him and the way he portrays himself, because he has no charisma. He can't talk. Going, ooh, ah, is not charisma. I'm sorry. It's just not. He can't talk. He's very limited in the ring. There's all these things that just continue to add up to the reasons why he shouldn't be used the way he is. Look, people can be limited and be unbelievably over. By the time Steve Austin got to WWE and became Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was unbelievably limited in the ring. He was punches and kicks and a stunner. That was it. But the guy was so goddamn captivating, and his ring, it's not like his mic work was, he's never discussed as a great talker because he didn't use a lot of words. It was his actions. It was the way he carried himself. It was just the fact that he was a bad motherfucker when the world wanted a bad motherfucker. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And that's what Roman Reigns needs to be to work. He has that type of look. But it's not Roman Reigns' fault. It's not. It's just not. It's the WWE's fault and their unwillingness to change. Because they see, and it's going to bug you again, Pittsburgh, it's going to bug people who don't believe this, they see him as the replacement for Cena. That's why he took Cena's place in the cancer stuff. That's why we see him do more and more Make-A-Wish stuff. They want him to be that guy. They see him in that role. And that's what we're going to get. Now, hopefully, that'll change. I'm open to the possibility of seeing that change. But I'm telling you, I got a very bad feeling in my gut that he's going to walk out of there as champion. And he's going to do it clean. He's going to have a shoulder injury in the first match, or the arm injury in the first match with Del Rio. And they're going to talk about how Roman Reigns is going to have to overcome the odds yet again and all of this. And then he's going to he's got to fight his best friend and all of this. And then he's going to win. And it's the Roman Empire. Oh my God. Fucking kill me now. To see him standing on the top rope with the belt in Atlanta, Georgia, where there's a very rabid fan base that will boo this man relentlessly, because these are old school wrestling fans in Atlanta. They are going to boo this man like you could not believe. They're just going to absolutely destroy him. I don't want to see that. I think it'd be devastating for the long-term growth of Roman Reigns. So, for all of those reasons, I hope that Dean Ambrose either wins the belt or Kevin Owens, in the way that I said earlier, Kevin Owens gets the victory, because I think it's the way to go. Because you have Kevin Owens, and maybe not the Sami Zayn idea, because I don't even really like that as much as just having Kevin Owens doing his thing to, continue to be a major champion, double champion, just being obnoxious as fuck, the king of WWE in a lot of ways. That'd be awesome. And then you have a secondary feud for the next number one contendership, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. I think it works there, and that carries us right into Royal Rumble. It gives you can have that feud all but done, or maybe just building up by the time they both get into the Royal Rumble, and then they have a little one-on-one confrontation. And maybe they eliminate each other from the Royal Rumble, or one costs the other, or something like that. Or they're the last two guys standing in the Royal Rumble. There are so many ways that you can do. There's just so many things that you can do there. So I like that. I think that that's the best way to go, but we'll see what happens. There's so many options. It just seems like they're being eliminated by just a couple. And hopefully they're going to wake up a little bit. And from the talk that I'm reading about, there is a lot of push for Dean Ambrose to walk out of there as champion. But I think that there needs to be another section of people that are pulling for Mr. Kevin Owens, because I think he might be the best option when you look at it. So finally, the last match, the 25-year anniversary of The Undertaker. Undertaker and Kane versus the Wyatt family. Presumably Bray and Braun Strowman. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Those two, the other two Wyatt members, I'm sure they're going to get involved. I don't see Kane and The Undertaker losing this match. I just don't think it's going to happen. It makes absolutely no sense for that to happen. So why would it happen? It should be very cut and dry. Undertaker Kane gets the victory. Now, they could do something kind of crazy here where the Wyatts decimate them, put them in coffins, bury them, burn them, electrify them, throw them off a fucking cliff. I mean, there's all kinds of things they could do and go really dark with it, and then they both reemerge at WrestleMania. I don't know. But outside of that, I don't see this being that interesting, mainly because who gives a flying hell? Who gives a shit about this match? Really? I mean, does anybody, even being a huge fan of The Undertaker, which I know a lot of people are. I'm not. I've never been a huge Taker guy. But even being a huge Taker fan, I mean, there's only so much about this you can get excited about. There's only so much nostalgia. There's only so much excitement you can get for 25 years and all that. I mean, there really is. It's limited. And to see Bray Wyatt lose again, to come up with a zero burger, having eat a big helping of Undertaker feces once again. Eat this shit, Bray, and like it. And then once again in a week or two, he's going to come back out there and try to sell himself as the new face of fear again. If Undertaker and Kane win this match, the Wyatts have to be disbanded. They cannot incite fear in anybody if they lose this match. So I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying the Wyatts are going to win this match because it makes absolutely no sense. No sense that they would lose again. It can't work. Not if you're going to keep them in their current iteration. You can't. Pittsburgh boy, I'm back. I had to clean up shit that I threw when Dave referred to as champion or as Cena. See, you talked about how smart you were, that you're your second year of college and you're throwing fucking shit like a goddamn ape. What's the matter with you, Pittsburgh boy? Get a hold of yourself, man. Go whip out your picture of Roman Reigns and just, yeah. You know, it'll be fine. In Roman we trust. I love Pittsburgh boy. It's so much fun. Isaac A. Dave, that's what throws me off. Taker and Kane have dominated this feud, so that's why I think the Wyatts will win this match. I think that's a good possibility. You know, it just, you wouldn't think they would because the 25 years and all the Undertaker week and all of this shit, right? But I think it does make the most sense for Kane and Taker to lose here. But you have a problem with that too. You have an issue if they lose. You have a problem on your hand if they take the loss. If they take the loss, how are they supposed to generate any goddamn buzz for WrestleMania? Coming off of another loss for The Undertaker. Kane has been in this just terrible, losing situation for a while. So why does anybody care about them? Well, here's the thinking man's part about that. Of course we're still going to care about Taker and probably Kane at WrestleMania. Doesn't matter if they lose here. Kane not so much, but The Undertaker is beyond wins and losses. They don't mean anything to him. Even the loss at WrestleMania only meant so much because he went on and won at this year's WrestleMania. So I don't know. A loss doesn't mean that much. I know the argument is there that if they lose, how can they build to WrestleMania? It's very simple. And Isaac A. just said the word sting. I've been saying this for a while. You have The Undertaker lose. Kane and him both lose. The next night, they come out and either both or one of them announces their retirement. Probably The Undertaker, but maybe both of them. They start talking about retirement. The lights go out, and here comes Sting. And he challenges them to one more match. There you go. It writes itself. It writes itself. That's what I would do. Because I think it's the only way that you can do this and not hurt the Wyatts and not worry about The Undertaker selling a big match at WrestleMania. Both of those things will take care of themselves if you have him lose, and then maybe not even on Raw. Maybe we don't see the Undertaker for a few weeks. We don't see him until Royal Rumble, where he makes an appearance, and they start hyping, Undertaker's going to be at Royal Rumble. Undertaker's going to be at Royal Rumble. And he comes out, and he announces his retirement. And then Sting walks out, the lights go down, whatever, and he challenges him to a match at WrestleMania. Which makes sense if they wait, because that way it gives Sting more time to heal up. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think the Wyatts will win this match. So in review, I got Charlotte over Paige. I got Tyler Breeze over Ziggler. I got Kane the Undertaker losing to the Wyatts. And then ultimately I have Dean Ambrose walking out as champ. I want it to be Kevin Owens, but I don't think they're going to go there. Dean Ambrose is going to walk out as champion. I think they're going to go the heel route. I think. I don't know. Roman Reigns is going to walk out as champ. I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. Alex Williams, is Steve even cleared to wrestle? That's what I was just saying. You're going to give it time to find out if he is clear. So we don't know if he is or not. So we'll see. So there it is. There's your prediction show. If you guys want to call in and tell me what you think about this, go ahead and do so on Skype at davidvancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or 702-751-2902. Now, before I get up out of here, before I take calls and stuff, there's something I want to address. I don't talk about this very often. I never really bring it up because there's no need to bring it up. But current events have kind of forced my hand here. So it's real simple. On Twitter, at DeadOnDaveV. If you write me on Twitter, please do me a favor. And this is not me asking. This is me giving you a heads up. If you tag me in comments with Joe Cronin, he is going to write you and chastise you for doing so. He doesn't want to be referenced with me. He doesn't want anything to do with my name, which I find kind of funny because he can't stop bringing me up on his shows. He continues to take shot after shot at me and Tommy, even though we don't say a damn word about this guy. You know, this has been a very difficult situation, moving away from Cronin and everything, being fired for the second time, and then ultimately choosing not to go back. But this is exactly why I didn't go back, because of dealing with fucking crazy shit like this constantly. I have nothing but thanks and gratitude to Joe Cronin for everything that I got to do over there at that channel. I got brought in and we killed it for a year. We had a great fucking run. Great fucking run. And it sucks that it ended the way it did. But that's reality. It's all good. I try and move on. Because that's what adults fucking do. So, hopefully, he will stop eventually taking shot after shot at me. And we'll just move the hell on and everybody will be right in the world. But I don't see it happening. So, if you tag me in comments on Twitter with Joe Cronin, he will write you and tell you, no, he's a bad guy. Don't write him. We can't even see each other's comments because of we blocked each other. So we can't even see each other's comments. So it doesn't even make sense that he doesn't want to be in the same I don't care if you tag me with him. I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect me in the least. So that doesn't matter to me whatsoever, but it's all good. So I'm asking you just to save yourself the hassle. Don't tag me in those comments with him, just to save yourself getting yelled at by the guy. All right. So there you go. It sucks that I even have to bring it up because I really try not to, because I try to move on from this thing because it's petty and stupid and it's retarded. I didn't leave willingly. I got fired for a second time. That's the reality. And now he wants to peg me as I'm some fucking phony and all of this. What the fuck is he talking about? Nobody sacrificed more than I did to be a part of that fucking show. I'm talking about it more than I want to because I'm pretty fucking pissed off. And honestly, I'm pretty fucking hurt over the whole situation, which I try not to let on too much, but I am. Call me a girl, call me a sissy, I don't give a fuck. He was my goddamn friend. Jesse was my fucking friend. Jesse's still my friend, kind of. I don't know. You never know with Jesse. He's head in the clouds. I have no idea. But I got fucking betrayed, man. I feel hurt by that. And I just try to fucking do my thing. So, it is what it is. So, I'm hoping that this will be over. I'm hoping that this will be done. So, we'll see. What better way to transition from all of that than have my good friend, Pittsburgh Boy 96. Pittsburgh Boy 96, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
How you doing, man?
Oh, hold on. Let me turn this thing up. I can't hear you. Go ahead.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah? Yeah, I feel a little better, too. I feel
Are you
better,
done
too.
throwing a tantrum? Are you done breaking shit again?
Yeah. I possibly depends on how this conversation turns out and the rest of the night turns out.
What do you got for me, man?
Well, first off, I was going to start by saying I think Paige has a good chance of being champion at the end of the match between her and Charlotte.
I think she has a shot. I think she definitely has a shot. More than likely, though, and for the reasons I stated earlier, the narrative just makes more sense to keep Charlotte as champion unless they're going to throw her away. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want another microwave champion. I don't want a wasted talent like Charlotte. Because of all of her faults, she does have faults, but there is something there great in the ring. So that's what I want to see really continue to do her thing. So I don't know. We'll see.
And, of course, I have to talk about my boy.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I still say it's hypocritical as hell.
What is hypocritical?
The fact that people what's the fact that people would like to see Sami Zayn like whenever he comes up,
Yeah.
like within a matter of months, go after a championship. That's bullshit. That's
Why is that
hypocritical as
bullshit?
Fuck.
Do you
Because
not understand why?
Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. People are pissed because Daniel Bryan doesn't win.
Mm-hmm.
He beats Daniel Bryan at Fastlane.
Mm-hmm.
People get pissed.
Mm-hmm.
It's you gotta get what I'm saying.
No, you see, here's the thing. He got booed at Royal Rumble because nobody wanted to see this guy go over anybody, let alone Daniel Bryan. He didn't eliminate Daniel Bryan, by the way. WWE did do him no favors by the way they eliminated Daniel Bryan. They incited that crowd against Roman Reigns, which makes absolutely no sense. They did it to themselves. Then they did it even further by really shoving the dick down our throat and up our ass by having The Rock out there. That was ridiculous. It was just insanity.
In what way?
Now, hold on. Hold on. Give me a second, because I'm refuting your claim here. I'm telling you exactly why it's not hypocritical and why what you're saying makes no sense. I'm gonna, and then I'll let you respond. Then he goes on. He has a fantastic match with Daniel Bryan, and he earns his way into WrestleMania. That match with Daniel Bryan was cheered, and he got a lot of love for that match. He also got a lot of love for what he did at WrestleMania. His stock was going up because they had him stop talking and just being a badass. And it was working. He was an absolute badass at WrestleMania. But the best possible outcome actually happened with Seth Rollins winning the belt. It worked perfectly. Now, what they've done since then is questionable. But Roman Reigns hasn't done himself any favors by simply not getting any better in all of the problem areas that people have issues with. Now, to address the Sami Zayn thing. Sami Zayn is nowhere near in the same category as Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn is fantastic in the ring. He's super over with fans, and people legitimately want to see him. So he's not being shoved down anybody's throat because people want him. The whole point of shoving someone down somebody else's throat is because they don't want that in their mouths. We don't want Roman in our mouths or up our ass. So we boo. We get angry. Sami Zayn's not in that category. That's why what you're saying doesn't make sense. But so there you go. What do you got?
Well, first off, Reigns is a badass in the ring.
Nah,
but people are giving him a chance, in my opinion. Yes, he is. Come on.
He's got the absolute worst spear in the history of wrestling. It's worse than Charlotte's spear, and that's saying something because Charlotte uses like her elbow pit to spear somebody. Yes, this is the elbow pit right here. This little pit, that's the elbow pit. And that's what she used to spear people. It's horrible. Roman Reigns is worse than that. It's the worst spear I've ever seen. The drive-by move makes me sick to my ass.
Bullshit.
Well, it's a terrible spear.
That's
It's set up the same way every time. It's set up the same way every time. It's so annoying. And do you know why it's annoying that he sets up every move the exact same way every time? Because who else does that? Who else does that, Pittsburgh? You know who it is. Go ahead and say his name.
Many fucking people. Fuck
Rapido.
Bullshit.
John Cena. That's who it is. And
my ass. It pisses me off. Just like people right here, Adrian in the chat, Fruity Pebbles vest. Fuck off.
Yeah.
That is bullshit.
Yeah. It's not though.
Oh,
that's
man,
who they want him to be. It is. Look, I get that he's your guy, and you can say that I'm mean to him now and I'm mean to you, but you know better than anybody because we've had conversations on this show, on past episodes, where I've defended Roman Reigns. I've given him every benefit of the goddamn doubt, but the reality is, and it's not his fault for most of this, that they are utilizing him as the next John Cena. That's what they are. That is their mission statement. That's what they want. They love "Let's go Roman, Roman sucks," because whose chant is that? It's Cena's chant. That's what they want. They want that polarizing figure that can kind of walk the line. It's not really a tweener because tweeners are more like CM Punk. He was more loved than hated almost all of the time. Steve Austin would, especially towards the end of his career, would, flip between heel and face. Nobody cared because they were legitimately loved by all. Roman Reigns is not. He has a very clear divide in his demographic. Very clear. And that is not his fault. But he could do himself favors by getting better in the ring, by switching up some of the moveset a little bit, if the WWE even allows him, which we don't know. But how about just acting like he gives a little bit of a shit when he's on the mic? Because he doesn't. I don't know. What else you got?
That's all I got for right now. I'm probably gonna go break some more shit.
Don't go break shit, man. Don't go.
I cannot stand it when people refer to him as Cena. It infuriates me.
Look, if he walks like a duck and quacks like a duck and smells like a duck, what does that mean? He's Cena. That's what it fucking means.
He is not fucking Cena. God damn it.
Rapido. I will see you later, Mr. Pittsburgh. Don't break anything. It's okay.
Oh.
See you later, Pittsburgh. Oh, that's fun. 204. You called. I did not get your call because I was talking to Mr. Pittsburgh. If you want to call back in, you could do so now, and I'll rap with you. I don't know who you are, 204, but you can call back in, take your call. And anybody else who wants to get their voice heard, go ahead and do so. So what do you guys think about Survivor Series? What do you think is going to happen? What do you want to see happen? I mean, that's what I want to know. So hit me up on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV, or write in the comment section below, or on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura. Write me, and maybe I'll write you back. You never know. Make sure you check out the newest t-shirt on www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. This is amazing. She's so hot, my nipples lactated. Yes, Sal made the shirt. It exists. It's on the site, and it's fantastic. Go check it out, man. Help the channel out, man. Put a little money in the pocket of your boy, Dead on Dave. And if you don't want a shirt because you don't want my face on you, which is completely understandable, you can just donate to the channel and say, hey, fat man, I love what you do. Because let's face it, if you tip your barista at Starbucks for your pumpkin spice fucking latte. You can tip the copious fat man as well. All right, let's take another call, man. 870-870. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
What is up, Dave? It is Raw again, calling off of a different phone.
Raw's using burner phones now.
I am. I'm using hoe phones, man. I gotta get those drug deals going. But yeah, I just called to say that I totally agree with you, and yeah, about Reigns.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready. I'm not one of those people that just likes to hate. Like, I've come around on Cena. I've gotten where I can enjoy him because
I have respect for Cena. I have a lot of respect for Cena.
Because for a while, it just felt like the reason people hated him was because it was just so he didn't. You can keep on doing the same moves over and over again if you do them with energy. If you get the crowd hyping up. It's the kicking out at two that I think, like the constant kickouts, the being unbeatable. But here's the reality: Cena's coming off of one of his best year, if not his best year, of his entire career. He's had unbelievable matches in the last 12 to 18 months. And people will forget. Who thought we'd ever see a sunset flip powerbomb from John Cena?
That thing got ugly, though, man. I didn't. Yeah, that started being dangerous, man. He almost killed somebody with that. Who was it? Owens that he almost killed? He almost killed somebody with that goddamn.
Did you see that Frankensteiner on Monday night that Owens took?
Yes. Oh, the reverse Frankensteiner from Neville. Yes, that was badass.
I forget what they call it. Yeah, that was. We just sat there and we were just like, well, tonight's over. I mean, no more. Nope, Owens is dead. They just cancel everything.
It was bad.
But that was just incredible. That just shows how crazy, because a lot of the times, you know, the Frankenstein is one of those moves that's mostly done by the person taking it.
Yeah.
So it's just incredible. He has
it didn't look like that though when like Scott Steiner used to do it. When his Frankensteiner off the top rope, man. When big steroided up Scott Steiner used to do that, or allegedly steroided up. Excuse me, I don't want to get arrested.
Oh, allegedly. Oh my.
When he would do those,
dude had a gut and a six pack at the same time.
It looked like his freaking thighs were literally gripping that guy's face and throwing him over. It didn't look like that guy had to do any work. Whatever Scott Steiner wanted your body to do, your body was doing it, man. Because that guy was ridiculously strong. And he was
how the hell are so many wrestlers dead and yet Scott Steiner's still alive? I'm not cursing the guy. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just wondering. I mean, for all the people that have died from steroid use, and we still have this dude here has a gut with a six pack on.
Well, you know why? Because I think the one thing that he always referred to himself is probably very true. He's an absolute genetic freak. Did he use Did he probably use steroids to help maintain his physique or make it bigger? Probably.
Yes.
But the reality is,
I think he's juicing now more than ever.
Oh yeah. Honestly. Well, shit. Fucking Billy Gunn is too, and Billy Gunn.
What a dumbass! I'm sorry, that dude fucked up.
So stupid.
I'm like, what the hell are you doing, you fucking narcissistic asshole, doing a bodybuilding competition?
Dude, he was doing his thing.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but you have a job to do. Apparently the company wasn't aware of it.
No.
You're using steroids. You're going to get tested. It's just, you're so dumb. I'm sorry, Billy Gunn. I love you.
It's pretty stupid.
Yeah. You fucked up your whole job. They're going to have to wait a while before they can bring you back, even though I don't think you should be fired in wrestling for using steroids. Me personally,
no,
I don't believe you should.
In today's world, you have to be, because you can't.
Yeah.
With new kids, he's in charge. He was one of the trainers at the Performance Center, where the youth of dangerous. WWE. You can't have a steroid user, a guy who's popped currently. You can have previous steroid guys, but you can't have a guy who just popped a steroid test be training people. Can't do it. Sends the wrong message.
I understand that.
I totally get why WWE did it. I totally get it.
The main thing that bothers me, of course, you know, everything in professional, professional competition show. This is a professional show. So obviously steroids don't I had thought for a while that steroids don't come into play. But however, I have rethought that, because if one guy juices, at least in this current product with Vince McMahon still at the helm, the guy that juices will get over. If somebody juices, odds are they will have a better shot than a guy who doesn't. Because they're going to look more physically capable. They're just going to have more of an athletic edge. It's just, you know, it's not fair, even from a work standpoint. You know, because it kind of forces the guys who don't use it. They're like, "Fuck, I'm not looking like that guy. I'm not going to be able to get over."
It goes right back to the old baseball conversation. You know, like they estimated like anywhere to 85% of Major League Baseball players were juicing in that steroid era. That's not fair to the other 15, but does it really fucking matter? You know, that's the thing. It's a fucked up situation, and it is what it is. You know, that's what it comes down to. What else you got for me, Mr. Raw?
The Charlotte and Paige segment.
Yeah.
All right. No, everybody's talked that to death, I know, but I haven't gotten to get my 2 cents on it. When it happened, I was immediately like, oh shit. Not like a good oh shit. I wasn't like, oh shit. It was just like, oh shit. Well, fuck. And I think that there's a lot of people standing up for it because they came from a different era that probably thought it was very awesome. Or thought it added something huge to the
Well, I don't hear
rivalry,
anyone standing up for it. That's the thing. All I see is legends and everybody shitting on it. I don't see anyone defending it.
It's mostly younger people, kind of just young enough to have seen the Attitude Era and stuff. They think back to when, Big Show's daddy's dead. But, you know, that kind of thing. But it's just a different era right now. And if you're not going to allow blood, I don't think you have any place mentioning the death of someone, especially in the same show when you're creating a memorial for someone who just died as well, and you're talking about all the Paris stuff that they're doing, and you know it's just bad timing.
I don't think it's the same as showing blood. I know what you're trying. The narrative is the same though. There's a distinct difference. I think using that it was cheap and desperate, but I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with it. It's only if Charlotte, which they're saying she did, not only okayed it, but had input on the segment, which I believe. WWE has no reason to lie about that. And because they can only lose if they're lying about it. Because if it comes out and she calls bullshit, they're fucked. They're fucked.
To me, it just shows also that WWE does not. I was actually listening to Pro Wrestling Torch the other day. I don't know what you think about their podcast or whatever.
If I'm not on the podcast, I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring it up. I was just thinking it's something that Wade
plug
Keller
them away.
had
I don't
said.
give a shit. There's enough YouTube for us all. If I'm not on it, I don't watch it. It's just how it is. I'm a narcissist.
Well, no, it wasn't a YouTube thing. It's like they do like, you know, it's like Wade Keller, the guy that goes on with Stone Cold sometimes. Yeah. But he was talking about it. He's like, one reason that a lot of companies had backed off from sponsoring with the WWE is because of their past of kind of sleaziness at times.
I don't know. I find that bullshit. The numbers don't suggest that to be anywhere near true.
Really?
Their sponsorship
I was just saying what he had said. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false.
The numbers don't add up to that. Because the one thing that WWE is really not having problems with, and the reason for why they're not, is sponsorships. And the reason for it being is because of what their demographic is now. Them being a PG company keeps the sponsorships rolling in because, yes, we could talk all day long about how the numbers and the ratings aren't what they were back in the 90s and the Attitude Era, even just a few years ago. However, they're still in the top 5 in cable every single Monday.
Yeah.
Every single Monday. That's the reality. TV is not the same as it was, and the industry as a whole is not the same as it was. People aren't watching wrestling. Especially right now. The NBA just started. You got a very hot team that everybody's talking about in Golden State. So you have a huge story there. You got football in full fucking swing. We're smack dab in the middle of the season. We got undefeateds that people didn't think were going to be there. We got people having embarrassing losses while being undefeated. You got all kinds of crazy things to talk about in the NBA. The Major League Baseball trading season is just starting up. The winter meetings are a few weeks away. Everything's getting exciting about that. People don't care about wrestling historically during this time. And so it's just, and on top of that, it's a down period in the industry anyway. So
or I would like to call it more of a transition period personally, or at least I would hope it is.
I think it is.
I think we're building a lot of great
Wrestling goes through these. This is what wrestling does. It consistently goes through these ebbs and flows where they go back to the kids and then eventually they will go back to the more mature content, you know, but I think they walk the line pretty damn well because here's the one thing that nobody talks about when they're blasting WWE for being a PG company. They don't talk about NXT, which is also a PG product. We don't, you know why it doesn't come up? Because it doesn't fucking matter. The wrestling is so good, It doesn't fucking matter. It's simple storylines. They don't worry about being fucking, they don't pander. They just go out and do their goddamn jobs, and they do it well. So nobody
I don't
talks
give a
about
shit if it's PG or not. That's not like any problem to me. I think that people that want that TV-14 are a bunch of fucking, fucking Neanderthal morons. No offense, but I think you're enjoying. I understand that there is something to the old Attitude Era / what's the era that came after that? I'm blacking out.
Ruthless Aggression.
Ruthless Aggression. There's something to be said for some of the stunts that they were doing, but eventually that wears off, and all you have left is a bunch of beaten up, broken down wrestlers for the rest of their life. And at the end of the day, it's just not worth it, and there's many other ways you can get pops and great shows than just jumping off a 50-foot ladder and clawing the guy's face until...
It's all situational. Blood still has its times where it's very effective.
Yes.
I don't think you need blood in every match, obviously.
No.
But I think, like, when Brock Lesnar uses it, I think it's pretty damn effective.
Because it feels like a real fight. It has to.
Sure.
Because that's why all of Brock's fights feel like such real fights, because he's actually bleeding. You're like, holy shit, this guy he's actually taking a beating. But the reason I kind of said also about the Paige and Charlotte thing, I think one problem I had with it was I thought that they would have more respect. And I understand they can't let it get out and they don't want to involve more people than necessary. I just think with certain people, for all that they've done for the company, you should give them the respect, which is Ric Flair. I think that they personally, or his daughter at least, whoever's at fault here, should have consulted him beforehand.
Fundamentally, I think you're right. I think you're right. But I don't even think that's on the WWE to take that into consideration, as long as Charlotte is okay with it. Because at the end of the day, she is playing a character. Now, granted, they're using a real-life situation to integrate into that character, but it is a character. Her name isn't Charlotte. Her name is fucking Ashley. So, it's that is one way to kind of desensitize through it. It's a very fine line. And here's my only issue with that line of thinking is if you start hindering that, using real-life situations because of a death or anything like that, even though it's a controversial death because he junkied himself off the planet, and it is horrible. But if you start,
and isn't it weird that she's talking about him like he's this hero fighter? I mean,
I know,
I'm not trying to talk any ill will. I had an aunt that was very close
I actually
to me
had
that
more of a
died
problem
of a
with
drug
that.
overdose.
Yeah, I actually had more of a problem with that. But if you start reining in those type of storylines, it's very slippery slope. Because that is why we're in this fucking PC situation anyway. Because it's just going to be the next thing that's going to bug somebody. And then suddenly that's off the fucking table. That's how PC works. And don't fool yourself. This is a PC discussion. They shouldn't do that because it's going to hurt. She was okay with it. If she was okay with it, I'm okay with it. And look, that Rick's not doing the storyline. If Rick was in the storyline, I think he'd have more. He would. Should they probably have said something to him? Yes, but I think the bigger question is why didn't his daughter? Why didn't she?
I think she's really, honestly, I don't think it's a matter of WWE forcing her or whatever. I think she feels the pressure of her situation and her not getting over currently. I think she feels the pressure. She's worried. She doesn't. Rick was right when he said her position is not secure.
Sure. He was absolutely right about that. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of that other stuff is emotional because obviously Rick is a very emotional guy.
He did a good job of not throwing WWE under the bus. Yeah. I did listen to that, and I thought he did a really good job of not stepping over the line. But he did insinuate, and then his fucking co-host just flat out said it. So,
Leave it to a co-host, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
we don't know about co-hosts here because I tried to give.
I don't know anything about that.
And
no,
can't even get a microphone.
I'm really excited for Survivor Series in some aspects. I think if Roman wins, it's going to ruin him. I think it will. I think that if Kevin Owens goes over and actually goes over in a way that makes him seem like a warrior, while still being a heel. He can do heel stuff during the match.
Sure.
Like, I don't mind that. I do not want him winning off of a heel thing. Yeah. That's me personally.
No, but that is his shtick right now, though, and I'm sure that he might not have to, though. That's the thing. If they go the route that I think they will, if Kevin Owens wins, Kevin Owens is not winning clean. Dean Ambrose is going to get involved because that's going to be the narrative. I think it's the right way to go. Hey, you got anything else for me? I'm gonna take another call before I get up out of here.
Yeah. The last thing, have you noticed how Kane is totally the Me Too guy right now?
Oh yeah, Kane is
poor Kane.
Yeah, Kane's
not
got
even
nothing
poor Kane.
going
He
on
looks
right
like
now.
goddamn turkey meat. By the way, I'll be at Raw on Monday night,
Awesome.
first row by the ramp. So hopefully on
Did
camera
you ever
side,
get
so
a Dead on
hopefully you
Dave
will see
shirt?
me.
Did you ever get one?
I did not. I am broke. I have no money.
Oh my God!
Man.
All right, can you? If you're in the front row, can you do a brother a favor and fucking get a sign and just
Get
throw
a
a little
sign
Dead
to
on
at
Dave
Dead on
love out
Dave.
there?
I will try. I'm going to make a multitude of signs.
I swear to God, you will be back on as long as you want for 5 weeks if you make a hashtag copious sign. Dude, nobody will even know what it means. It won't even help me that much because everyone's going to be like, what the fuck's hashtag copious?
I just want to, I feel like if I put Big E is hashtag, or Big E has hashtag copious amounts of booty meat, I feel like he would run over and stand by it.
That's
because
too
I feel
much
like
to
he
put
would
on a
just do
sign.
That. Yeah. Or hashtag copious booty. There we go.
Hashtag copious amounts of new day.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I appreciate you taking my call.
Copious amounts of unicorn, something like that.
Copious amount of horn.
We'll all know what it means, and I'll mark out.
Yeah.
I will mark out. It will be great.
All right, man. I'll try my best. I'll try and get my hands on a sign. I know we're supposed to be making some. It's me and
I
my sister,
appreciate
so,
that, buddy.
All right, man. You have a good night or day or whatever the fuck it is there.
It's
I don't know.
1:16 in the morning.
Hail Dave. Okay.
Hail Dave. That's right. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you.
Thank you, Rod the Entertainer. Rod the Entertainer, everybody. Was he entertaining? That's what I want to know right now. Is Raw good or bad? Good or bad? Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down for Raw the Entertainer, because I want to know what you guys have to say on Raw. We had another caller. I tried to add him in. 870. No, I'm sorry, not 870. Who was it? 319. You tried to call in. I added you to the call, and then you went away. So if you want to try to call back in, I'll take your call, and you can get what you have to say on your mind. But if you didn't call in tonight, if you weren't able to, or if you still don't by the end of this show, you can call in tomorrow night on Dead on Dave Live, Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dead on Dave Live. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We got a whole bunch of great people showing up at NXT. Austin Aries. There was a big rumor that AJ Styles was there. Turns out that it was a fake picture. AJ did not go backstage at NXT, but Gunner was there. So was Austin Aries, but they did not wrestle on the tapings. But there was another former TNA guy, Jesse Sorensen. He wrestled, and I said weeks ago that the floodgates were opening, and it certainly is starting to open. And the possibility of all these guys, James Storm and all, it's just wonderful. I'm absolutely in love with the idea of having that happen. Something else we're going to talk about tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead. I want to talk about it a little bit now, but I really want to get into it tomorrow, is this. Melina, this is so fucked up. I can't even tell you. Melina, who apparently with John Morrison, they are once again on their on and off relationship. She went ahead and did something kind of fucked up. She posted this on her Twitter. She did, to her credit, she did quickly delete it. But it's still fucked up that she posted it all. This is medication prescribed to John Morrison. Now, if you read what it is, it's fucking Cialis, which is Viagra. It's an erectile dysfunction pill. This is fucked up. This is fucked up, man. I can't even begin to tell you how messed up I think this is. Why would she post this? What is even if they had a nasty breakup again or something like that, why would she post this? What the hell is wrong with this woman? No, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Come the fuck on, dude. That's craziness. It's crazy. Well, I'm going to get back at him. I'm going to let the world know that his dick doesn't work. Ha 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 ha! Your dick doesn't work. Look, because of all my nerve issues that I had after I got hurt from my days in the Army, I have severe nerve damage on my left side. And I have issues. I've had issues. I don't anymore. Used to when it was more severe. And they put me on Viagra for a little while. Luckily, I wasn't having sex, though, because my wife has completely shut that door. My virginity's grown back. Thank you, wife. But, just to get my jollies, needed some help. Got the Viagra. Very excited about it because, I was really young when I was like 26, 27. And I was like, oh, this will be interesting. I tried the shit, and all it did was make me sad. It was fucked up. I couldn't bust. It was just, I had a rock hard dick for hours, and I was just really sad. Just walked around sad. Looked like I had a fucking corn dog in my pants. Just sad. Like, what the hell is that? It's not a corn dog. It's my wiener that won't go down. I was just not very happy. It was just very weird. So, John Morrison, your boy does not cast any disparaging remarks your way for your Cialis. I think it's fucked up that Melina would do something so revolting. Just is what it is. Adrian Alex Poe. Dave, you have to take the pussy. Are you advocating rape on my wife? Are you telling me I should rape my wife, Adrian Alex Poe? Are you telling me that I should Bill Cosby her? That's not how Dead on Dave rolls. Dead on Dave is a smooth man. I'm a smooth dad. I can't believe that Adrian Alex Poe just told me to rape my wife. I really don't know what to do with that. He told me to rape my wife. I don't know. All right, on that note, we're going to talk about that more tomorrow on Dead on Dave Live. We've got so much more to get into. Very excited for that. So make sure, that was just to get you wet. Dave was playing with your clit there. You see, I was just rubbing that clit and get you all wet. So you guys can show up tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Dead on Dave Live. Viewer questions. We're going to take your calls, your questions, your concerns, your hopes, your dreams, your fears, and we're going to bundle them all up and do our thing. I didn't say Phil Cosby. I said Bill Cosby. Did I say Phil Cosby? I might have. I'm really tired. I may have said Phil Cosby. Did I? That's awesome. If I did, that's awesome. I'm a fat idiot. Oh, no. I mispronounced a word. One fuck up. Two fuck ups. Let's go back to one fuck up. There you go. Chris J, she probably you can't even spell out probably. I can't even get probably spelled out. No, I get probably. She probably won't fuck you because your blonde hair. This blonde hair this is what fucking wet vaginas are made from. Do you not get that? It's unbelievable. You see my hair's already grown though, so you can see the fucking, it's getting darker already. But this is glorious. Chris J, how dare you? How dare you, Chris J? No wonder why you can't spell out probably. You probably can't. You probably can't. Google that shit. Google it. Probably. What the hell's wrong with this world? Probably? Really? I'm not even worth... Here, I'm going to spell out probably. I'm going to spell it in the chat. Probably. It didn't take much to type it. It didn't take. I had to think about it a little bit because I don't make any fucking. I don't hide the fact that I'm an idiot. I know I'm stupid as fuck, but It didn't take that much. Probably was easy to type. I'm not worth that. I haven't earned probably 4 extra letters. Chris J. Could, should, would, thought, what fuck is how I spell. Own that shit, Chris J. Own that shit. That's, you know what? I at least respect you now, man, because you own it. If you're going to do something, go balls out, man. Go balls out. All I got. Thank you guys very much, man. Hope you enjoyed the show. I had fun. This was a fun one. Survivor Series prediction show in the books, man. We're done. So that's all I got. Thank you guys very much. I hope you guys have a very, very good, copious Friday. We will see you next time right here on Dead on Day Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like this guy. Every so often, a musician emerges that changes the landscape of their genre, changes the definition of what is, alters the rules set by those who came before. That musician brings with him music that shatters the image of the status quo, music that transforms, music that ushers in new inspiration, new ideas, and new life. That musician and that music is here.
And the best in the biz.
Evil T is for now.
Best in the world. December 17th, 2015. Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah presents Black Mozart.